Hello, everybody, and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Skyward Sword Randomizer 2021 Winter Tournament. This is the seeding race number 4. We're featuring today KitKat, Iraxis, Floha258, and Deer. Commentating for us, we have 64-bit Link, CJS07, and BattleCats59, and tracking we have Ebu and Zelda72. Say hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Hey guys. Good morning. Or afternoon, depending on where you are. I don't know. Time zones are hard.
Yeah, so this should be a fun race. This is the very early morning NA slash like more timed for EU race.
In fact, I think almost everyone racing is part of the EU community, as far as I know.
Yeah, so we are, I believe, waiting for one runner to ready, so...
And then we will be started as soon as she's ready.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've had some quite interesting seeds for the first 3 seeding races.
Interesting is definitely the word.
Yeah, I mean, I guess personally I'd like to maybe see a seed with LMF not being one of the required dungeons, just so we get a little bit of variety.
You know, I would not be opposed to removing LMF from the... From the rando pool, but
yeah, I mean LMF's part of the game, so we've got to live with it. And looks like the race time has started, so now we're just waiting for stream delay to catch up.
So with Skyward Sword Rando, with the current settings, our races are going to have 2 required dungeons, which progress items can appear in. They cannot appear in the other dungeons, and they must beat those 2 required dungeons in order to be able to open the Gate of Time and reach the past in order to fight the Horde, Ghirahim 3, and Demise. So,
yep. And also they'll be required to fight Imprisoned 2 rather to open the Gate of Time.
Yep.
But that's going to be a couple hours from now.
Hopefully not too many. So as our runners start off, they're going to be grabbing a free item from Fledge here just immediately. And it's this item that tends to set the tone for the entire seed.
Yeah, Gratitude Crystals is an interesting start. It means our runners will most likely be checking Betro on their first Skyloft visit.
Runners tend to check Betro on their first Skyloft trip. I think, you know, there's a couple of scenarios where you don't. I think I didn't in my seeding race yesterday, actually, but... So now I believe we will see just about everyone doing pretty similar routes, heading to the sparring hall first, and then talking to the Treasure Allen to get some more free items. Yes, the dungeons are Skyview and Sandship, so our required items are actually relatively low. We need Claw Shots, Ancient Sea Chart, and Bow, bare minimum, to beat the dungeons, not to mention the tablets.
Yeah, will probably be a requirement.
Whip will more than likely be a requirement. And Bow fills the requirement for a projectile for accessing and entering Skyview. However, Beetle may also be required for Skyview.
Yeah, there's one hard Beetle locked location in Skyview, and then there's one that I think logically requires Beetle. That's the one in the cage, but you can actually get the item inside the cage with the whip.
Or with you can also open the cage with a precise slingshot shot. Neither of which are in logic, of course.
Yeah, and the slingshot shot being discovered actually relatively recently by Gymnast.
Very recently, actually. So Araxis here, and Kikot are both setting up bit magic here for Skyview. Definitely a good choice, in my opinion. We see Skyview and immediately think it's probably worth setting up a bit magic file. We'll talk more about what exactly that means once we get to them using it. If they use it. If not, don't worry about it, really. Because it will only make sense once we explain it. Once we're able to explain it when they're doing it.
Got the harp from the potion lady, so that's that's one of the always required items that is needed to raise the gate of time. So it's always nice to get that early.
However, an early harp does mean trials in logic potentially.
Yeah, we'll see if any of them. So for trial specifically, when you get the song, there'll be a hint on it saying either it's probably not needed or you may need what it reveals. And so our runners will have some idea of whether there could be a useful item on the trial.
Yeah. When it says you may need what it reveals, it guarantees that there is a progression item on there. But it could be something like a one-off quest item or gratitude crystals, both of which have the potential to just dead end immediately.
Yeah. So Araxis is sleeping in Rina's house to advance the Beatrice quest, which is one of the long quests which is enabled in these settings. Which requires talking to Beatrice 6 or 7 times and sleeping in between each time.
It's 7 times talking to Beatrice and her father twice, and then once at the very end to talk to Beatrice, where you get the reward. But her father's conversations have to happen at night.
Vin's power, you might need what this reveals in Waterfall Cave. So
what a great start.
Yeah, and so the Elden Silent Realm is definitely the longest. I think Jim timed it at 6 minutes, including playing the harp to open it. So that's definitely a monk-ass one to find as your first song.
Find the song really means nothing, all things considered.
Aloha flying into the sky, looks like he's going for the loading zone manip.
He hit it, but it was a little off. I'm not sure. Deer missed the jump down to the first chest. Oh yeah, we do start with one pillar open, but I'm not sure what pillar they started with. Does not appear to be the Elden pillar.
Yeah, Kikot finding 5 more gratitude crystals, so our runners will have the magic number of 10 for their first Petro visit.
That's optimally what you want to find on Skyloft. It's unfortunate when you don't, because then you want to collect loose gratitude crystals, but there's a couple of optimal paths for gratitude crystals, and there's kind of an exclusive set of routing that you want to do if you need to get gratitude crystals that is mutually exclusive with the route our runners are doing at the moment.
Yeah, and then you have the possibility that you go find 5 loose gratitude crystals, and the first item you get from Betro is 5 gratitude crystals.
Yep, that has happened on multiple occasions. Also, Faron is our starting pillar. So that's 2 seeds in a row with the Faron pillar open at the start.
Yeah, Faron's kind of unfortunate a little bit because, Faron doesn't really have a whole lot open itemless, and even so doesn't really have a lot of dense item checks.
Yeah. Did Kikot talk to Beatrice for his second conversation yet, or did he immediately go to the academy and sleep tonight to do Colin's letter? I think he forgot what dungeons he has to do, so he went and checked them again. So yeah, the only item realistically that our runners need in order to progress in Faron is any projectile item. So slingshot, claw shots, bow, even bombs will suffice in order to allow entry to Skyview, in which case Faron becomes a much more profitable prospect.
Yeah, bombs is probably the best item for opening up Faron, because there's also, while you're doing the slingshot check, there's 2 bombable walls with items behind them.
And speaking of the slingshot...
Yeah, KitKat finding this slingshot on Colin's letter.
So definitely going to be heading to Faron soon and doing those checks. I'd be very surprised if we don't get another night cycle from KitKat here to advance Beatrice further and talk to her father before he leaves Skyloft for the first time. But definitely some interesting routing from KitKat here. Like I said, I'm not sure that he talked to Beatrice earlier. Which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, no, this is his second conversation with Beatrice, so he did miss out on a cycle, it looks like. Nope. Correct me if I'm wrong, that was the second one, right?
He might not have done the sleep in Rina's house.
That's possible that he didn't, that's true. I'd be very surprised to see, because most people do.
Silver Rupee on Betro 5, and Betro 10 is Water Dragon Scale.
Dragon Scale. That's very nice. So, that means that Lake Floria is almost in logic. We need either Claw Shots or Gust Bells to put it in logic now. Right. I would not be surprised to see one of them in Faron.
Yeah, so we'll also... so that also opens up the Shed Chest on Skyloft.
Yep. Ooh, Araxis falling off Skyloft. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, ladders in this game are hard. For whatever reason, the game, like, even if a ladder is, like, right in front of you, it takes actual effort to get Link to climb the ladder instead of running up the wall next to the ladder.
Yeah, it is a thing that just happens, unfortunately. We did also get Fire Shield earrings, something to note. They're almost irrelevant considering that we don't have Fire Sanctuaries or required dungeon, but
we have seen items in Volcano Summit in these
in almost every seed, actually.
So,
in 2 out of 3.
You ignore those Fire Shield earrings at your peril. So Floha is talking to Spirit. This is going to unlock a quest for later to get an item from him of picking up his crystal ball in Eldin. And you can have this conversation basically at any time from the beginning of the game. So it's often good to just get it out of the way early, so that way when you're in Eldin and you happen to get claw shots in Eldin or something like that, you're able to just collect the crystal ball immediately.
Yep. This Skyloft is actually a very good Skyloft in my opinion, because you got only a handful of items that unlock things on Skyloft, but that also means that you could stick to kind of the good quote-unquote routes, like the tried and true routes. And we did see quite a bit of that in the seed, I feel like. So, like, what made me think of that was Floa just doing the, sleep tonight, talk to Peter in his house at night to advance the Pietro's quest, and then then I'm doing Betro and getting the Gratitude Crystal by the Pumpkin Patch and jumping into, and then sleeping at Sparrow's house, so. Yeah, that's always a very nice route to be able to do.
Yeah, Deer's talk to Oriel there. That unlocks an item from Pero. That's normally a bottle with mushroom spores.
Or it will
That
be nothing, or it will be something else, obviously.
yeah, but
Probably nothing, but
yeah, but if it is something that could actually be a advantage for Deer.
Most people try to put off that check because you can combine it with another check if you can get a bottle beforehand. But nope, just a piece of heart. So unfortunately for him, that's not a great thing to see, but it's a check out of the way. So this one, I am still quite surprised that we haven't seen anyone go to Faron yet, but I believe we'll be seeing at the most of our runners heading towards Faron right about now.
Yeah, well, I think that's where KitKat and Araxes are going.
Same with Deer.
Yeah, they may stop at Lumpy Pumpkin first.
I personally prefer going to Lumpy Pumpkin after Faron, but that's definitely personal preference. KitKat's going to talk to Oriel here. Very interesting. Oh, and Araxes is going to Lumpy Pumpkin.
Yeah. Also, going through the zipper, which is kind of a vanilla habit. In the randomizer, the Loftwing speed is uncapped, so that means that because of the way that zipper mechanics work, going through a zipper when you're at a higher speed with your Loftwing will actually slow you down.
The way the zippers work is they just set you to like a fixed speed. And that speed is now lower than the Loftwing cap. I can't tell what's on the chandelier there.
Yeah, but it must be something good if Araxes decide to knock it down.
Yeah. Oh, he walked right past it. Oh, is it Spiral Charge, perhaps? And that's why he walked past it? No, it's a harp item. It's a song, most likely. Araxes is having some trouble. It's a heart. It's Nader's Wisdom, and it's not too important. So.
Thus far, only the longest of the Silent Realms that might have an important item on it.
We don't even have the Ruby tablet yet, so our runners probably aren't too particularly concerned about that.
Yeah.
I think... So none of our runners actually slept here, which is interesting. I find that it's usually much better to sleep tonight and grab the 2 gratitude crystals here in one trip. But
yeah, so also in the Seal Temple, Deer is doing the harp tutorial, which is basically forced upon you when you enter the Seal Temple with harp.
It is also... Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he'll also get an item from it.
This is forced upon you by Rando in general, because you do need to do this in order to open Battle of the Goddess.
Yeah.
In order to open the Gate of Time. Sorry, that's... This is normally Battle of the Goddess in the vanilla game, is what I was getting to.
So yeah, I believe all of our runners are now descending upon Faron at about the same time.
Deer a solid chunk ahead in Faron, but Deer hasn't done some checks that some of our other runners have done, so not a big deal. Getting bow from Battle of the Goddess, that's very nice. A strict upgrade to the slingshot, so.
Yeah, so slingshot is basically obsolete now. I mean, there are a few very specific instances where you want to use slingshot. I guess the other note about slingshot is that it's a lot easier to find slingshot ammo than it is to find arrows, especially in Faron and Eldin. Because a lot of the areas where the game doesn't expect you to have the bow early, there just aren't arrow drops naturally in the world.
A couple drops that have been have been added to Rando if you reach them with the correct items. There's bomb drops in Sealed Temple and Skyview because of some logic with bombs that you can do in Skyview. So bomb refills there. Other than that, not really much has changed with the drops. However, that is something that personally I think Rando should, or that I'm in favor of adjusting in Rando. But, you know, neither here nor there.
So Deer is the first runner in Faron Woods proper. Not checking the entrance statue. Now, one thing is it's very easy to kind of go through Faron and just forget to check any statues.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, same.
The two statues that you really want to check are in the woods and viewing platform IMO. But.
Yeah, but honestly, like, Faron entrance, I think may actually be the closest to like the great tree chest if you're claw shotting in. So I think
really?
It's actually might be worth checking that one too.
Because don't you have to claw shot from near the heart piece, like after the rope, or?
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess I haven't timed it compared to in the woods, so maybe they're like equidistant.
I think viewing platform would be, I guess maybe
viewing
not.
Platform's on the complete wrong side. It's on the right side if you have scaling.
Yeah. I was turned around.
So yeah, now our runners are going to be doing the Machi chase.
Kind of slow part of the seed, since unfortunately we don't have bombs, so it's going to be a bit of a trek before we have items again.
Yeah.
One interesting thing about Rando is that if you have claw shots, you can actually skip rescuing Machi by claw shotting to the vines near the Faron entrance, and then completing Skyview, because that sets Machi as rescued for some reason in the base game. So that's a thing.
Yeah. Also in the Rando, I think they got rid of the 5 triggers that normally stop you from running past Machi.
I mean, even so, we knew how to get around the triggers anyway, so...
Yeah.
Some precise rolls and jumps. Everyone seeming to struggle just a little bit with the Machi fight here.
Yeah, you can also bit warp past it, but that's probably not worth with the triggers being removed.
Statue, is it to bit warp? Is it UA?
It's 90% sure it's UA.
It's always UA.
Bit warp UA.
Yeah, almost every bit warp that is useful is Upper Academy. Which is interesting.
The slingshot check is one of the longer checks, but some runners think it's good to do.
I mean, in
So,
general, it is good to do, despite the fact that it's longer.
Yeah, I mean,
always
I definitely got burned in an earlier race by putting off slingshot check and having it be a required item.
Yeah, in that seat it was bombs, right?
Yeah.
Also, to answer the question in chat, everything in this is randomized except shop items because there is no shop sanity yet, and are in rando. Everything can be randomized except shop items. And then we don't have key sanity. And then in these settings, the items that are or the locations that are excluded are Betrow checks above 50 crystals, mini games, and goddess chests and cubes by extension. Hope I didn't miss anything. Looks like Deer having some nunchuck issues.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but happens to the best of us.
Yeah, unfortunately, the port on the Wii Remote that you plug the nunchuck into does tend to wear out over time, so that's sometimes if you've used a Wii Remote for a long time, like it's the nunchuck port on it will get less reliable.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a design in the Wiimote, I believe, that the port wiggles just a little bit to prevent it from wearing out faster because of the jerkiness of, the motion controls with using the Wiimote and the nunchuck together. So, unfortunately, that has led to, other issues with the nunchuck port.
And Floha and KitKat getting the spiral charge at the same time on the Great Tree Ledge.
Yeah.
So that's going to open up 2 checks immediately in the sky that are on islands that have breakable boulders on them. When they get Ballad of the Goddess, which will unlock the Thunderhead, that will also unlock Levias, which in Randomizer has a check on it.
Did Kika finish Slingshot, or is he just interrupting Slingshot with Fence Hop here?
I believe KitKat's interrupting Slingshot by going
Very interesting choice.
Yeah, actually, with Skyview being required, this might be the right play, actually.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good point. I had not considered that possibility, or that fact. However, it is important to note that this is out of logic at the moment, because the runners don't have a way to scale the Great Tree in order to speak to Yerbil, which is logically required. However, everyone just does do Fence Hop.
Yeah.
Or most people do Fence Hop, I should say. Did Deer finish the Slingshot check?
I do not believe so. I do not believe any runners have.
Okay. Interesting choice to interrupt the Slingshot or the Kikwi chase with Skyview. Personally, I would not do that just because it's an extra check and you don't have all the items required to full clear Skyview at this time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gamble you can make on just, like, gambling that that nothing important will be behind the beetle checks.
Yeah. Thankfully, with the way logic works out, it's fairly common that one or more keys are locked, like small keys are locked by the beetles, by having at least one beetle, in which case we are able to skip it with Back in Time. Which hopefully we'll be able to see and then get to explain why our runners saved and quit at the beginning of the run to copy some files. It looks like Lake Floria was a dud, right?
I only saw the last check.
I saw the first and the last. I did not see the middle check. It was that cool. So Floa pushing a log there. That log is normally put back up by by the vanilla game, by a layer change that we'll experience potentially later. But in Rando, that is not the case because for some reason, I don't actually know what the reason is that it's not like that in Rando. But the log stays down when you trigger the quest with Professor Allen to rescue or to bring Ulo to the sky. And it is significantly faster to land at viewing platform and run up the log than it is to get Ulo the intended way. So finally we get to see what the slingshot check is.
So required, it's the C chart, and the C chart in the randomizer is what unlocks the ability to douse for and hit the sand ship to enter it.
Can you hit sand ship without dowsing? Or is the dowsing required to spawn the sand ship?
The dowsing ability is required.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so like you don't, if you know where the sand ship is, you don't need to douse for it, but you do need the dowsing ability in order for it to be spawned in.
Getting cube warp there relatively easily. Did Deer not enter Skyview? I'm not sure what happened here.
I'm guessing Deer checked the. I didn't see it, but I'm guessing Deer checked the one chest in Deep Woods and then left.
Which is an interesting call.
Yeah, which is an adventure pouch upgrade. It is. Yeah, I agree. It's like if Skyview wasn't required, I would call it standard routing.
Yeah, I agree.
But like the fact that Skyview is required means that like I would probably put off that check until I'm ready to enter Skyview, which Floha is going to be the first runner to actually enter Skyview.
Electing to use arrows here instead of the slingshot, which I think is probably a mistake, but...
Yeah. Also, KitKat not pushing the log down for Ula.
Oh, right, he does not have slingshot, that's true.
Looks like
Important to note that our runners have the Water Dragon scale, which means they are in Skyview 2, which actually means that they can trigger the Goddess Wall here, which triggers another check later that is only available if Skyview is a required dungeon.
Yeah, also, they will need Ballad of the Goddess, I believe, for the Goddess Wall to actually spawn.
I believe that is correct. I believe they can spawn this. Can they spawn this one without? No, not without.
I don't think so. No. I think all the Goddess Walls need, and like Floha, I think, just had that realization.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You only need the magma text there in order to trigger the next the Goddess Wall outside of the Sealed Temple.
Yeah, I should also note there's one check in the first half of the dungeon that requires digging mitts.
Yeah, so there are three checks currently that our runners are locked out of. If the check here is a small key in the digging spot, like it would be in vanilla, we will probably see Floha Bitwarp to skip the key requirement. We will see, though. Skyview is interesting because if you don't get both small keys in the first three checks, there's definitely a justification to bit warping because you have to bit warp from this room or the first statue in order for the bit warp to successfully work correctly. I guess you could bit warp. Yeah, you'd have to. In which case, it would make sense to potentially skip the risk the second small key just being in the second half of the dungeon. In order to save the backtracking movement, but I'm not totally sure about that.
Yeah, I mean, the bit warp is like, if you have the keys, the bit warp's definitely slower, but if you don't have, because you're already doing all the checks anyways, but Floha is just getting destroyed by the Bokos and unfortunately takes a death. Or maybe that death was intentional.
I doubt it, because he's not saved. I doubt we're going to see Bit here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he didn't get to check the map chest, which I think is what he wanted to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, going to the right side first is not the best decision. Unless you have claw shots, in which case it's the correct decision. We're gonna see KitKat's no-bit skills here paying off. As he goes through the dungeon just like he would in no-bit. Also, KitKat in Skyview. We were so focused on Floha that we missed that. Floha using the, I don't actually know what those enemies are called offhand, to blow up the vine. Very cool. Are the name of those enemies?
The Froaks?
Yeah, Froaks. That's their name.
Yeah, I was trying to think about it, but yeah. And then I realized, yeah, there are a ton of Froaks in these rooms, in Skyview 2 specifically.
For some reason.
Well, I mean, this area is supposed to be filled with water in Skyview 2, because you raise the water level in Skyview 1 normally.
Oh,
and in
yeah,
this case,
but...
the runners have to, because they don't have claw shots. Like, this dungeon becomes way faster with claw shots, but unfortunately our runners do not have them.
Kick-Out getting a nice little bonk there, in a roll that you only have a couple frames to do, between the slingshot seed being released and you regaining control and hitting it.
Yeah, Flohai, unfortunately, only hitting 2 of the heads of the Staldra there.
Unfortunate. Again, only hitting 2. I thought he'd hit 0 there. And electing to go for the shield strats, which I'm not sure why he didn't just go for immediately. So first and only small key in this half of the dungeon is in the vanilla location. If I'm not blind.
Yeah.
Both the dungeon map and that small key were in vanilla spots.
Vanilla map SMH.
Yeah. So it's possible that it's also a vanilla
second small key.
Yeah.
That'd
in
be
which case our runners would not have access to it right now because it's beetle locked.
I don't point out that Deer has picked up the pumpkins. Oh, he had not done I forgot that he did not do Lumpy Pumpkin earlier, so. Oh, looks like Flo will be electing to do Back in Time here. He's on Have a Heart SMH.
Did we see what Kit-Kat found in the beetle chest?
I did not see what he got. However, the boss key is beetle locked. So Flowhaw's about to be very disappointed. He had a key piece, okay.
I guess Kit-Kat does not know the slingshot shot because Kit-Kat... Well, actually, no. Kit-Kat's going back in to do Back in Time, and then we'll probably do the precise slingshot shot to get the boss key.
No, definitely the correct play to do it this way.
Yeah.
I expected to see him leave as well there.
Yeah.
I need to learn the slingshot shot.
Like, it's actually not as precise as you might think.
Yeah, I just need to learn the setup.
Yeah, Floha taking advantage of this Back in Time to also create a corrupt file, so he's going to be deleting... He copied to file 3, he's deleting it and then saving while the file's deleting, and that creates a file whose contents is all 0, which is useful for certain Back in Time tricks, and also, because it has 0 health, is useful for activating Back in Time faster. Because to activate Back in Time, you need to die first.
See Kit-Kat here, copying to file 3 to make a corrupt file. Doesn't lose, it loses a little bit of time, but I guess after this, there's no real big uses of Back in Time. Iraxi electing to go immediately for Back in Time in Skyview. Back in Time is a glitch that allows us to have control of Link on the title screen, which allows us to do a lot of things. The easiest to explain of which is a bit warp, which is what we just saw Kit-Kat and Flohad do, where they save and start their file simultaneously, which warps your file to the coordinates that you save at in Back in Time while maintaining the map that the file was originally stored on. So in this case, they warp to the Upper Academy statue coordinates in Skyview.
Also, you'll notice, like, a lot of times, like, KitKat will have his stamina meter be red, like, after he goes through a loading zone or something. So that means that he got a frame-perfect roll out of a loading zone or out of a cutscene or something after draining his stamina going in. Which, every time he gets that, it basically means he was having optimal movement, basically.
Yeah.
Also, like, having the bow there to defeat those archers is so nice.
It is very, very nice. Ruby Tablet is beetle locked.
And or digging mitts locked, one or the other.
Oh, true. Yeah, it's either
so we don't
or,
know
but not both.
Yeah, we don't know which locks it yet, but
and we probably will never know, unless we see Deer get it with the other. I'm wondering what routing KitKat is doing here, because personally I would have gone back and done the slingshot shot immediately. KitKat with a very smooth vines there. A little slow it looked like, but smooth nonetheless. A bottle as well. So a lot of... is he not going to get the boss key?
I wonder if KitKat just forgot he didn't pick up the boss key, in which case he'll be disappointed when he goes to try to open the boss door. Okay, I guess...
Oh, he doesn't know the shot.
KitKat must not know it. Like, the runners who will know how to do that shot are definitely those that run 100%, which KitKat doesn't really run, so that...
I mean, I run Hundo and I don't know it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you also haven't done Hundo recently.
I did one recent run, but yeah, I did just come back from a relatively long hiatus. It's just me. It's true. I like to go somewhat fast. But as soon as it requires skill and effort, nah. NA aim from our EU runners. A speed walk.
Okay, so Floha is gonna finish off the Kikwi rescue because he decided to go to Skyview before finishing.
I actually think in this seed, hindsight is 2020 in Rando, but I think in this seed skipping is probably the correct decision. Or well, not skipping it, but delaying it like this. Also, KitKat missing the cool grass strats, SMH.
Yeah. Basically, if you do 2 Skyward strikes where you clear most of the grass and all of the grass around Erla with the second one, you skip the animation where Erla moves around trying to find more grass to hide under, which saves a ton of time.
I mean, when you say a ton of time, it saves on the magnitude of seconds, but... Back in time,
it feels like a ton of time when you miss it.
It feels like an eternity. I usually don't go for it if I have bombs, because, you know, you just bomb, or you just roll the bomb, cut the grass, get the chest, and then talk to Erla immediately. Or, Lopsa. No, that's Erla. I was right the first time.
Yeah.
So, our other runner's also getting the slingshot here. Wonder what Araxis is up to here. Dying, apparently. I wonder what Araxis' route here is. Like, what his plan for this is. Oh, did he get the precise jump slash death or something? By accident when he missed that?
Maybe I wasn't watching his screen at that moment.
Yeah, I wasn't either. That's why I'm wondering what happened.
I saw him fall into the void and then die in the void.
Okay, so he did get one of the precise deaths. There are some precise deaths in Skyview where like you can land on like the trees that are growing out of the void. Which was actually used in speedruns for quite some as a backup strat for quite some time. Until, dying in Skyview was no longer, required at all. Araxis got the boss key, so I guess he knows the shot then?
Yeah, Raxus did the slingshot.
Also, Kit caught clipping into one of the spiral charge boulders.
When you get that clip, it feels so free, but when you miss it, it feels like it's impossible.
Yeah, I think it's just like I personally just don't quite know how to do the clip. It's something I'd probably need to put time into practice.
Yeah,
and then I would probably realize it's not as bad as I thought it was when I was trying to do it a couple times.
In one of my practice seeds, I actually just I just missed my spiral charge into the boulder and then just clipped in from a skydive above. I was like, do these just not have collision? But it turns out that is not the case, and I was just a lot closer to it than I thought when I spiral charged. So Rags is on Ghirahim here. I think that this gives him a very solid lead. Knowing that slingshot shot is incredibly powerful here for Raxus.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what's behind Ghirahim and if there's anything that.
Well, I mean, he's one-cycling, or one-tripping Skyview, which is a required dungeon, so he's definitely at a big advantage.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Maybe our runners would have to go back to Skyview if it turns out that something required is locked behind one of the checks they can't do right now.
True.
But, still getting the boss out of the way is nice.
So there are two checks that our runners didn't do. We know one of them is a small key, but we've already found the map, so it's possible that one of the other ones is necessary.
Yeah, and then there's also the Goddess Wall, although the Goddess Wall is pretty easy to trigger, to just walk in quickly to trigger.
You need to trigger the Goddess Wall. I think all you need is the Magma text.
Oh, and Beetle on Oriel.
So there's still a chance that Beetle is locking the bottle check. Strict downgrade on the Ghirahim heart container. Interesting. If we had a beetle locked bottle, which blocked another beetle, so. Floha's saying no to Oriel, to rescuing Oriel. I have never seen a runner do that. What did Kika get from Paro here, or is he sleeping and then gonna get the check?
I didn't see.
He has already gotten it. I missed what he got. In that case.
Oh yeah, Red Rupee. That's why my brain didn't register it, because, yeah.
I don't think I was looking at his...
Yeah, it's like when you play a lot of rando, your brain starts to just register things as what they are or unimportant. And if it's unimportant, you just forget what it was immediately.
Yeah, that's very true. Interesting to see Kickout here going for loose gratitude crystals rather than going directly to Eldin. I guess he knows that Eldin is out of logic at the moment. I mean, Araxis also needs claw shots. in order to reach Sanseed. Yeah, our runners also need to collect 3 swords. I don't think anyone mentioned that yet.
Yeah, so one of the requirements to open the Gate of Time is having the Master Sword, and swords are progressive, so there are actually 4 sword upgrades, and the runners need to find at least 3 of them.
They only need the Master Sword to open the Gate of Time, not the true Master Sword as it would be in the 3 in Pirate Stronghold.
And so Colin's letter on Betrow 30, and then
We'll see what we get from the chest.
yeah.
Kick-Out picking the wrong text option there. I believe the fastest text option is right left there.
Okay, so now that Kickcock got the digging mitts, everything in Skyview is in logic, which means now that Ruby tablet is in logic for Kickcock.
Yeah. Well, theoretically, we don't know if in the event that the Ruby tablet is Beetle locked, he is still out of logic at this point because Beetle was Skyview locked. Or his bottle.
The bottle he found was.
Yeah. It's still possible that there are still 4 other bottles in the world because all 5 are randomized, that it's just going to be there somewhere. Like, it's possible that the game intended him to get a different bottle first to get Beetle. So that assumption is still not a great assumption to make. Betrow 30 has been in logic for quite some time, right?
I believe Floha's close as well. So
yeah, Floha, according to his tracker that we the commentators can see, he has 25 crystals. I assume that Kickcut is going to do the Collins letter check at this point. I guess it's also technically possible that the digging mitts lock a beetle in Skyview, in which case that would be certainly something.
Yeah.
If they get a beetle from the digging mitt spot, I believe our runners can deduce that the other one is a small key and deduce the logic from that. It's also possible that this was a 3-dip Skyview, or it'd be a 2-dip, anyway. Where, like, something, or it could be a 3-dip, where something required was in the digging mitts chest, which led to the beetle required to get into Skyview, or to get to the boss key or something, which would be double dip, not a triple dip. I can't do math.
It's definitely possible. I think I found that it's very rare that this randomizer winds up requiring double dipping dungeons.
Just the small sample size. I imagine that there are a ton of seeds out there where that is required.
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's just like, I mean, at this point, having done like, I've probably done at least a couple dozen, but even so, that's a pretty small sample size, I guess.
When there are literally infinite seeds. So we'll find out if Colin's letter is worth anything here momentarily. Rax is finally talking to Sparrett here in order to trigger the quest like we saw Floha do earlier.
And, yeah, Colin is about to be extremely disappointed.
Seeds are numerical and there is no... I think the max is arbitrarily large. Because Python numbers can be arbitrarily large. They're not limited by 32 or 64-bit lengths. A sword upgrade, that's very, very good. very likely head back to Faron here to attempt to clear Skyview. Because he can now get everything in Skyview, which means it's technically in logic, but the logistics of that we're not going to get too deep into because it's a little complicated.
Yeah.
But the idea of using an out-of-logic progressive item to replace a potentially later in logic one to do something earlier in logic is
Yeah, I mean the play definitely makes sense. To be honest, like I'm a little surprised he's going back into Skyview this quickly. I mean, it makes sense. You kind of want to just like close the logic loop if you can, but I guess like personally, I probably would just assume I'm back in logic and head to Elden. And then, like, double back to Skyview later if I don't find anything useful in Elden.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather close the logic loop now and finish the dungeon, because you know that you have to do this at some point. So it was Mitz locked.
Yeah, okay, so I guess, like, is there any other location that we haven't checked that could be a bottle? I guess Beatrice is one of
Beatrice
them.
could be a bottle. However, don't forget that this puts the Elven tablet in logic. So, because the key is now in logic. So, because the digging mitts were on Betro.
True.
So certainly a very interesting scenario for our runners here. This seed is certainly turning out to be an interesting one, at the very least. I think Skyview's always an interesting dungeon because of how early it can show up in logic, but because of how late because it requires two distinct progression items on top of the ability to reach it normally in order to do it. Technically 3 because of the logical requirement for Water Dragon Scale for the digging spot. You get some very interesting things with like double dipping or precise precise slingshot shot and going out of logic with the bit warp. Kickout showing off how much game knowledge he has because of no bit here with doing this quickly. Wish that bit was more useful in Rando. But
Yeah. Though Kikai barely mismanaging his stamina there, had to wait a little bit to do the last push on the box.
Oh, you have to push it one more time there? I thought that was just he grabbed it instead of sprinting up it. Another bottle in Skyview. Interesting.
Yeah, so this, I guess, was a logically required double dip then, unless there was another bottle on Beatrice, because the...
No, because Beetle was not required to get a bottle in this scene. Because Beetle was on... So this check is completely skippable in, like, if the runners had known.
Alright, where was the other bottle?
The other bottle was blocked by Digging Mitts, because Digging Mitts got the second key.
Okay, it was just in the back half.
Yeah, it was, I believe it was the boss key.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
Very interesting item locations for the seed. Having 2 bottles in Skyview is very, very odd. But oh, actually, yeah, it may have been a double dip because boss key is beetle locked. I keep forgetting that boss key is beetle locked. It's also possible that Beatrice has a beetle as well, so Araxis knowing this, that slingshot shot was huge for him because that's such a big deal because it skips a potentially logically required double dip.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he has a huge advantage because of that if he decides not to go back to Skyview.
Personally, I would not go back to Skyview in this situation. In his shoes, until it feels like I need to. I also feel like it's possible to read the logic in such a way that it indicates that it was a required double dip. But that's, you know, a really unlikely thing for our runners to gamble on. So a lot of our runners are collecting single Grandison crystals here, which is important. Actually, I think it was logically required to collect at least 5 here.
Looks like Araxes may be the first of our runners to enter Eldin. Eldin is, out of the 3 regions, has the most, I guess, item density that doesn't require other items to get. Because I guess you could say Lanayru has more item density in the nodes, but that requires a ton of items to be able to check everything, whereas in Eldin, with nothing else, like, you have a ton available to you immediately, and even more with digging mitts.
Yeah, digging mitts is the single best item for Eldin, because it unlocks all of Eldin in a single go.
Loa gets the sword from Pipit, which is interesting because the last seeding race, the harp was behind Pipit. So 2 progressive items behind Pipit in 2 seeding races.
Pipit always feels like he has something interesting, even if it's not progression. Also, yes, we have just passed the 1 hour mark. Red rupee there on the thing there on the cliff there, in the heart piece where it normally would be.
Yeah, Araxis managing to skip the animation of that, or the cutscene of that pirate. And with the bow, it's a little bit trickier because you have to remember that, like, to actually wait for the pirate to actually die before you jump down, or else the cutscene will start anyways, and you'll just see a camera pan following where the pirate would move, which is kind of funny, but then defeats the purpose of trying to do the cutscene skip.
Loa about to finish Patrice.
Oh, really? Interesting. I'm quite surprised by this, to be honest.
Aloha does not have the ruby tablet. Or at least has not put the Ruby tablet on his tracker.
He does not. He has not been to Skyview. Oh wait,
He has been to
bit-warped.
Skyview. I guess
he bit warped. He didn't get it.
have the slingshot at the time, so he could, even knowing the slingshot trick, he could not have gotten the boss key. That's
But
why
he
he doesn't have
bit-warped.
Ruby tablet.
He could have gotten Ruby tablet with the bit warp.
True.
I'm very surprised. That's gonna cost him quite some time.
It's quite a gamble to do Patrice, but Patrice could have something interesting here.
I feel like Patrice is the only thing he has in logic, actually.
It caught going for the precise bomb throw here.
Interesting to go for it this way. I've never seen anyone do it this way.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is how, in no bit, like, this, if you get it, like, within a couple tries, it saves a ton of time, as
Really?
opposed to
Oh,
going-
you have to you have to watch the cutscene.
Yeah. But I think now he's giving up on it. I feel like it's not as worth an...
I think it's worth it if you have the bomb bag.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot easier with the bomb bag.
yeah, but even so, like, if you still are gonna have to go around to check that one check that is on the bombable wall up here, then you still kind of have to run this way anyways.
So Ballad of the Goddess on Beatrice here.
That opens up Thunderhead. It also, that also means that our runners can do Levias, which is a check that they probably don't want to do right now.
Yeah. However, there are 2 Isle of Song checks, which makes this the densest check location for Floha, I believe. Unless he
Yeah.
likes to go back to Skyview. Ooh, another sword. This sword placement is making me think Thunderhead could be worthwhile. Oh, Araxis has Hook Beetle? As I guess I missed that. Hook Beetle's only worth anything once we get Linearu unlocked. So Magma's holding all the loot today. A piece of the Song of the Hero, Gratitude Crystals, Hook Beetle, and a sword. So four progression items, that means.
I mean, the Magmas are treasure hunters.
And a shield. Now our runners may have 2 shields.
Yeah.
Kick out, no.
Yeah, so...
Rax is not getting circles, unfortunately. It'll be interesting to see if anyone goes for the trial right now. Because we know that Din's power was, Elvin stacked.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of has to be, because it's like the... I guess besides the Thunderhead, it's the only region, or it's like our densest region that's open right now.
Rando doesn't take density into account when placing items, so...
I mean, it's true, but, like, it just... There's so many checks there that, like, something is gonna... That, like... progression is bound to be there. But yeah, I suspect we're gonna find something in Thunderhead with like all the sword upgrades. So so Floha
I also
deciding to
suspect this.
activate.
He has longsword, so
yeah, I mean that's true. I usually will like go to this island last in case like I find some good item elsewhere and decide to just bail on Levias.
and to not like bailing on Levias, because whenever I do, it turns out to be an item.
Yeah, well,
Can you
I've
leave
also
the Thunderhead while Levias is active?
I have never tried leaving the Thunderhead with Levias active.
Oh dang! I really thought that was going to be an
knowing
item from the
this-
animation.
Knowing this game, there's a Phi trigger there to stop you from leaving, but I don't know that for sure.
Knowing Pepper and Lepa, it's probably been removed at this point.
That's also very true. Yeah, I mean, huge shoutouts to Pepper and Lepe for developing this randomizer.
Yeah. Or doing the bulk of the development work, we should say. A lot of people have contributed, myself included, but...
Yeah. But they have definitely
they did the actual randomizer. Although my biggest contribution now is probably Entrance Rando. Although I think Lepa has completely rewritten it at this point. Floyd going for the swag left crystal strat on the on Isle of Song puzzle here. Ooh, and getting the one frame side hop cutscene skip.
Yeah. Side hopping the wrong way, but still getting the cutscene skip.
And side hopping twice. So he must have been mashing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, I know even Jim says he like, for this, like, he just lazily mashes just in case he happens to get the cutscene
Yeah.
skip.
I mash for it as well. More crystals. Come on. Please let Flaw get a good item here. Okay, so Rattle. That could be important. Levias is still a thing. Beetle's Insect Cage in Elden as well.
So everyone gets a fetch quest.
Everybody gets a fetch quest.
Max is running out of stamina there. Okay, Floha just, I guess, taking a while to find Levias. It can be really difficult to manage flying in enclosed areas with the very high loft wing speed.
Yeah, it can be very hard.
Trying to do the first phase of Levias with the high loft wing speed is really difficult. At least from personal experience.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places, like the increased loft wing speed is really, really nice, but you definitely feel it when you have you definitely feel it when you're trying to land on like a very small island or onto Levias or something, and you just overshoot it because you're going so fast.
Yeah, you especially feel that with the Spiral Charge Islands.
Yeah. Because you have the B button to slow down, but sometimes I feel like just because you're going so fast that isn't always even that effective.
B button feels like it does nothing. Chugging away at Levias here. So we've swapped in Lepa for Kikot because Kikot's internet appears to just be dead. And Leva's also in the Thunderhead, so very, very interesting in that regard. He has a Beetle, and so I will assume that he has completed Skyview at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he has Ruby Tablet, so that is probably true.
He has Ruby Tablet, Mitts, and Beetle, so that's why I'm assuming.
And he also has 2 sword upgrades because he has the 3rd Goddess chest unlocked, or the 3rd, I guess, Song chest unlocked.
Has he been to Eldin then already?
He must have been to Eldin unless there's some other sword upgrade.
Sword upgrade we don't know about, yeah. But I don't know where it would be.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted most of the other locations.
Yeah, I can't think of anywhere else that a sword upgrade would be.
Yeah, so Lepe has been flying through this seed.
If that's the case, Lepa is in the lead, I would estimate.
Yeah. I mean, we also don't know where KitKat is, because KitKat, well, it's internet.
Well, KitKat was slightly behind Araxis last time we checked.
Yeah, that was also because KitKat, if I remember right, made 2 Skyview trips.
Deer about to finish.
It's possible that Lepe finished all he could out of Skyview on his first trip.
Yeah, it's also hasn't been back to Skyview yet, but oh, it looks like he's headed to Faron, so it's very likely that he didn't finish it yet. Water Dragon's song on Levias. Something tells me that Song of the Hero could be required for this seed.
I mean, maybe. Yesterday
I'm just judging by the item placement.
Yeah, but yesterday's seed, I thought the same thing because we got early Song of the Hero parts, and it was just gratitude crystals, and
yeah, but it was Skype was a Mitts, but it was a progression item.
Oh, right, yeah. And unfortunately, Floha being victim to tornadoes, which is the other thing that is a consequence of the increased laughing speed. Oh yeah, Lepe is going. Yeah, so Lepe is going back here specifically because now he can activate that goddess wall and get the item on Gorko.
I'm still not sure that you need to activate the goddess wall. I feel like it's been said multiple times that you don't need to in the Discord. I don't know that that if I'm misremembering that. I think all you need is the trigger from the magma. Well, I think they changed it to make so you don't require harp for that.
Okay, so yeah, I guess I missed that.
I could be wrong. I could be making stuff up. It could also not be the case in this specific version of the Rando, because we are on a bit of an outdated version at this point.
Yeah, that is true, but I mean, Lepe is also the main developer of the Rando, so he would know whether he changed that.
It's also possible that he... Actually, yeah, because he already did the trigger, so he would have already had the trigger. Araxis got the insect cage in Eldin somewhere.
It was behind the boulder on the sandy slopes.
Yeah, the Thunderhead boulder. As speedrunners like to call it, despite the fact that that is not descriptive in the slightest for non-speedrunners. Alright, so it looks like Lepa either didn't finish Skyview, or...
No. I think he's just doing the checks that he wasn't able to do the first time. Like, what he's done thus far is...
He had a small key before reaching the digging spot, if I recall correctly. I guess it doesn't necessarily mean he didn't finish. He could have just bit warped first.
Yeah, he did the bit warp on his first time, so that's why he didn't use the key.
Yeah. Going with the bow shot there. Very nice.
Yeah, I didn't see, did Araxis get the single gratitude crystal in...
I did not see.
Yeah, because that's the
What
other
did he
thing.
get from Beetle?
I meant to watch what he got there, and I wound up looking at Lepe's screen.
Yeah, me too. He got the crystal according to the chat. $300 rubies, so a gold rupee from Beetle. Beetle was so grateful that he paid us so we could spend the money in his shop.
Yeah, so Lepe did finish Skyview because
He's just death warping out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not convinced that the death warp is actually slower. Anyway. We're actually gonna clean Malara's house because it's nice and dusty.
Well, no, I'm pretty convinced that like in most that death warp's actually optimal in a lot of circumstances.
I am as well. Other than this, doesn't Neuraxis not have very many checks outside of Beatrice?
I think so, yeah, because if he's cleared out everything in Elden...
Unlike Baby Rattle is Amber Tablet. I think Song of the Hero and the Skyloft Trial may have to be Amber Tablet. I guess it could be Claw Shots. Courage, not too important from Malara.
Oh yeah, so we did at the beginning. We got Din's power that may be important. I don't think any runner has actually done the Elden trial yet.
Oh yeah, the trial. That's true. Forgot about that. Oh, Leba also completing this check out of logic because bombs are not it yet. Very, very interesting choice from Lepa here. I don't blame him.
Raxes is getting the single crystals from the waterfall cave area, or behind the waterfall cave.
Doing so using the Beetle, which is unfortunately very slow, but still faster than running through the cave, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's hard to say right now who's in the lead because we don't know where quite a few items are. In the event that Thunderhead led to Amber Tablet, I believe that Flaha or Lepa will be in the lead by a pretty decent margin.
Yeah. Did Leper just run all the way through Faron Woods to get to Seal?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. I feel like flying out and back in would have been faster in this case, but...
I'm not certain. Also, why did Floha fly to the... Oh, I guess he forgot to check behind the temple.
Yeah, that maybe Lepe also didn't check behind the temple. I always make it a point to check that statue, but I think there are other runners who don't ever check it.
We're about to find out if the trigger was required, unless Floha went back in for it. I'm not certain if he summoned the wall in Why is he... I guess...
Well, it was definitely
bomb
required.
Bag! There we go. So Lepa and Floha solidly have a lead here, I think, with Bomb Bag. No, actually... I don't know about Bomb Bag, actually, because Bomb Bag doesn't really open anything in this situation.
Well, there are two checks in Faron that Lepe is not doing.
He could be flying out and flying into them.
And that is true. I feel like, though, that's an instance... Well, I guess...
I think Flaw is about to... Oh, wow. It recognized that?
The goddess walls are just sentient, and when you're on a good pace 100% run, they will not register the correct item. Deer doing intended strats for Levias.
I guess he doesn't know the fast strats, which is fine. We've seen him do quite a few somewhat casual strats. To be fair, the fast strats without practice are very difficult because of the fact that you're fighting an invisible Bylosite. Plus, we get really nice music. Or he gets really nice music. I don't know whose audio is on. It's Flaw's audio.
Yeah, though the thing is, like, you will take damage from just contact with Levias in this fight, so that kind
Fortunately,
of...
a death resets the fight. Yeah, you could skip the first phase of Levias is what we're referring to as the fast strats. Ooh, Lepa getting whip from Alan's crystals. So...
Oh, I should also mention, like, the fact that we got the bomb bag puts, like, we talked about that check being out of logic, now it's in logic.
Yeah.
I mean, the whip,
Whip isn't because of sand shit.
Yeah, the whip is required, but not immediately, I guess.
So, first check from Floha with the bomb bag is not important. It's a bloopy, unfortunately. Yeah, the fast strats are easy, to set up, but fighting invisible Bylosite is not the easiest thing in the world.
I just learned fast strats recently.
Yeah. It's easy to learn. You just have to do it once or twice, and then it's relatively easy. I still get hit by Bylosite and die occasionally if I'm on low health.
Yeah, I died once in the race yesterday to Levias.
I actually elected to not do the super fast strats in the race yesterday because I was so low on health. Alright, let's find out. So we now know where 3 sword upgrades are. Floha will have Master Sword going into Lanayru most likely. We are now, like, almost completely out of checks. We'll find out if Baby's Rattle is tablet. Otherwise, like, the Elden or Skyloft trials have to be, progression. Oh, I guess Betro, too. We still have Betro checks. I did not see how many crystals Lepa had, Matt. I'm wondering, got the Elden or just elected not to do it up to this point? Deer successfully hitting all the eyes. Which is a feat in of itself, to be totally honest.
Yeah, especially with the increased Loftwing speed, like that.
Something to be proud of, honestly.
Yes.
I know so many people are just like, how do I do this? And we're just like, do the fast strats, kid.
Yeah, like, just, really I've, like, even just in vanilla, like, I've tried to, like, do the intended strats there, and like, the intended strats are actually difficult for Levias.
Bylosite, where you stand really far back so he gets, so he fires 2 shots at you, so you can just knock both wings out in one go. But... also, the actual Bylosite theme is, like, one of the best themes in this game, hands down, even though we don't get to hear it very often.
Yeah, agreed.
The game just, like, goes all in on its, like, inner Mario Galaxy, aesthetic.
Yeah. Also, I like how when you hit his center eye, like, all of his eyes flash red.
Yeah. The fight is very nice. Deer trying some speed strats here. Oh, and he dies. That's so unfortunate. Also, so yes, both beetles were locked by Skyview. So that second bottle in Skyview was a double dip, logically. Unfortunately, Deer might be here a little while. I'm resisting the urge to make a really bad pun with his name. Oh, and Zelda's made it for me. Yeah, you can hit Levias with a Skyward Strike, which is really fast in the second, phase of the second phase, where you're playing tennis. Okay, so Lepa has not gone to the second half of Linear or Eldin, it looks like. Amber Tablet on Betro. So Arax is taking a lead back, I feel. Oh no, because he doesn't have bombs. So.
Yeah, I feel like anyone who has already double dipped Skyview is going to be very, very hard pressed to go back in a third time to activate the Goddess Wall. And that's going to put them at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, yeah, that Battle of the Goddess on Beatrice is just evil. Because, like, you're not going to get that for quite a while.
Yeah, but actually, yeah, because Battle of the Goddess is hard required. Which means Beatrice is hard required this seed.
Was that Boutro 50 with the Amber Tablet?
I think it's 40.
So it looks like Flo is about to get it here.
So we now know where 3 of the sword upgrades are. Which means the 4th could be literally anywhere, including on, like, in the past, on the True Master Sword check. Oh, it still has no Ruby Tablet.
Yeah, I'll call it really unfortunate if Floha decides to go to Linearu here.
Well, he had... Hook Beetle could be relevant.
Yeah, although, I mean, logically, there's only one... Oh no, Floha does have Bomb Bag.
Floha has not finished Skyview yet, which is weird.
Yeah.
Unless he just didn't mark Ruby Tablet on his tracker.
That is possible. Because, I mean, one of the things is it's difficult, like, so, to be clear, like, as commentators, we're looking at the raw stream, so we're looking at the runners trackers. I didn't see Elden Pillar though.
Yeah, he does not have the Elden Pillar.
Yeah, so
he went. So wait, so did Floha never re-enter Skyview for the Goddess Wall after Battle of the Goddess?
I mean, I wasn't paying full attention.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not doing it is required. So Floha the first to enter the Nehru here. I still think Claw Shots might be on the Elden Trial, in all honesty. Because we're starting to run somewhat low on progression items.
Yeah.
There's still 3 bottles and 4 gratitude crystals remaining.
Yeah.
But I guess other than that, it's only sword or claw shots, so we don't actually know.
Yeah, and there's also Linearu, which I guess, like, is in logic at this point with having Bomb Bag. You can get through mines and get a bunch
Yeah.
and get several checks in Lanayru.
And logically, our runners should have Hook Beetle at this point.
Yeah. Which gives logical access to what we call the second half of Lanayru, which is basically the part past the Temple of Time area, or that's like in the intended progression of the game past the Temple of Time area. Although I don't foresee most of our runners doing that, because there are multiple ways to skip it.
Yeah. We will see Floha do the bit warp and not the break slide. I mean, we don't know that. Do we know if Song of the Hero is useless yet?
Don't think we've seen anyone complete the Song of the Hero yet.
Where was the last one? Where's the one that Floha is missing?
I don't remember.
Can't recall offhand. Descent to Magma Turbo, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, a point I want to make too about the Bylosite fight or / Levias that Deer is struggling with is that, like, it's not an easy fight. Like, this is a fight that in the vanilla game you do after getting the True Master Sword, after presumably having like a bunch of heart containers. The game expects you to be on normal mode and not hero mode. And also
to have a capped Loftwing speed.
Yes, have a capped Loftwing speed and probably bring potions as well. Like, this is by far not an easy fight. And so, like,
the Great Tree here.
Now with Gust Bellows, this is the intended way of getting it.
Also, I'm wondering if logic used to be updated for this so that you can get here without the ability to defeat Moblins, because this jump is not actually that difficult.
Wait, is that jump not in logic?
I do not believe it is in logic, because you need to be able to defeat Moblins. If I recall correctly from logic, I can check actually.
Yeah, I'd be surprised because I was like looking at. Well, okay, I guess I wasn't looking at the logic for this check in particular, because I know I was looking specifically at the logic for. Because I'm.
Okay, the jump is in logic only if you get here via Gust Bellows. Which should not be the case, because you can claw shot and get to this area.
Well, yeah, but if you don't have the claw shots, then you can't claw shot up.
Yeah, so it should be Gust Bellows and Water Scale or claw shots, because you don't need to be able to defeat Moblins and if you have claw shots, either. But that's a discussion for later in the Discord. But...
okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh, claw shots on Great Tree Chest? Jeez.
So, okay, we've seen it both ways now. In seeding race number 2, the Gust Bellows was in that chest, which I remember being very unamused by when I last locationed it.
Oh, Lepa also getting claw shots here. I think I like Lepa better here than Araxis. Oh, Araxis is also about to get bomb bag, but Lepa has whip already. And I don't believe Araxis has set up this. Also, fun fact, I rolled both of the seeds. I rolled both Seeding Race 2 and this seed. So...
And Lepa with Master Sword now, so should be set once he gets Amber Tablet.
So Lepa will have Master Sword after this as well.
So at this point... Like, apart from Amber Tablet...
we know where True Master Sword is now, because Lepa has the Master Sword as well without having gone to Elven. So most of our runners should get True Master Sword this seed.
Do we
Actually,
know?
I guess Araxis could skip the mines completely, in which case he wouldn't get a... No, I meant what I said. Flo has yet to be to Elden. Yet to go to Elden where there's another sword upgrade. We know where all 4 sword upgrades are because there's one in Elden as well. Did I say Lepa? I meant to say Floha has yet to go to Elden.
Okay, that's why I was so confused. Because I was gonna ask, I
misspoke.
Lepa, yeah,
Lepa has not yet been to Elden, but all of our runners should get CMS here. Although, I guess at this point, Elden could be completely unrequired. Actually, yeah, Elden is completely unrequired, I think.
Where were Gust Bellows?
Oh, no, because you need Gust Bellows to get claw shots. Never mind, they were in Elden. Never mind. I did a dumb.
Actually, when Lepe finds Amber Tablet is...
I thought he had Amber Tablet already. That is Go mode.
Yeah.
For Lepa when he finds Amber Tablet.
Yeah, because it's on Betrow 40, right?
Wait, Lepa was the first to get Amber Tablet, I think. What is he doing?
No, well, Lepa doesn't have it on his track.
I swear Lepa was the first to get Amber Tablet.
And his tracker says 30 gratitude crystals. So...
I thought I thought someone said he had 40 gratitude crystals. I could just be really dumb. Lepa has 50 gratitude crystals, according to our trackers. So Araxis is in Go mode now. No, he doesn't have a whip, so he does not necessarily in Go mode.
Yeah. Where was Whip? Whip was somewhere, I thought, in early check.
Whip challenge crystals.
Okay, so according to Zeldex, Lepi does not have Amber Tablet, but he does have the requisite gratitude crystals.
That means that the trial in Elden is completely unrequired as well.
And I guess that's Whip on Alan check.
Yeah,
that's all it's referring to. Okay. Yeah.
Deer did it! Yay! Oh, did Araxis rescue Ulo? I didn't even see him start this quest. Jeez. So now Araxis will be in Go mode.
Yeah, so I guess, this is actually, all things considered, a pretty fast seed.
Really?
Because, at this point in... we're gonna have, at this point we have 2 runners in Go mode, it looks like. I don't know, I mean...
General is possible, but not this.
Yeah, I don't think any of the runners on Restream can sub to this. Now, unfortunately, because of KitKat's stream going down, we don't know where he is. It's possible he may also be in Go mode. But, I mean, keep in mind, you still have... We're an hour 42 in. Still need to do Sandship, which is a fairly lengthy dungeon, depending on... Yeah,
Sandship is an unfortunately long dungeon, and with an even longer boss fight.
Yeah, so I don't think sub 2 is possible. But, definitely sub 230.
For a top runner, this should be,
Yeah, we should see multiple sub 230s. So yeah, both Lepe and Araxis know they're in go mode. They're
Yeah, so
going
Lepa's
straight to
slightly ahead of Araxis here.
yeah.
So we'll see how Sandship goes. But I think it is quite likely that we see I think it's quite possible that we see a Lepa victory here.
Huh. Oh yeah, so Floha not in go mode because Floha is
Does not have the Ruby tablet still.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate for Floha. That
I don't know why he hasn't gone back to Skyview yet. I don't understand it.
I don't know, maybe if he just like mentally thinks he's already like he just mentally checked it off, like, and just kind of is like, I don't know, maybe he's heading back there now because I presume he's cleared everything he can in Linearu, and I'm not sure what else he has to do.
The problem is that both beetles are locked locked by Skyview. But we know Hook Beetle isn't required anyway. This seed is wacky. I wonder where the other 3 bottles are. Probably in Lepa with a super good Sandship douse. Or find, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's probably old any percent muscle memory and knowledge.
Yeah, I really need to learn how to do that better.
Yeah, because it's like because although you need the dowsing ability unlocked, like if you know where the Sandship is, you can just go right for it.
Floha going for loose crystals in there. Floha, why? No tumbleweed yet. Can't wait for the tumbleweed fan club tourney.
Yeah,
where
well,
you are required to find the tumbleweed before you finish.
That could be like very, very long seeds if that's the case. But yeah, no, yesterday we found the tumbleweed in Sandship, so
yeah. I know
there's
not
still
everyone got
hope.
it, and I'm very disappointed in the people that didn't get it. Did Lepa skip mines? I believe he did, because he's in go mode. So Lepa will not get True Master Sword. Actually, I am incorrect. Most of our runners will not get True Master Sword. Floha might be the only one, really. I totally forgot that our runners could have claw shots and just skip mines as a result of that. Deer is back in Skyview. I think we've already said that, but I don't know what Floha is doing. Floha, please just go back to Skyview. I'm begging you.
I thought for a second he might be, but nope, he's flying towards Skyloft.
Jebaited.
Floha's really putting off Skyview.
It's really unfortunate. The dramatic irony is real in this seed. Because Floha is a pretty solid rando runner, but to see him fall apart like this just because of poor choices is really unfortunate.
Oh no, Lepe missing the jump slash down over the fence and takes a death.
Oh no!
Which I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it does mean he has to climb all the masts again if he wants to check that, and it Looks like Lepa may just skip out on the heart piece.
No, I think he's just
chest
getting arrows.
because I mean, it's like, it is a lot of... Okay, he is reclimbing the masts, but that is a lot of time investment for one chest, but if that turns out to be the boss key, then he definitely doesn't want to miss it. But honestly, in his situation, if I were to take that death, I would probably like
Delay
go
it.
for other chests and hope that the boss key's not in the
Yeah.
heart piece chest, just because reclimbing the mast takes so long, and he already
We're
should
about to
have reopened
Nice.
the time shift stone.
Arax is getting it.
Yeah, Floha checking the waterfall cave sign. Wanted to be sure he was
Right.
entering the waterfall cave and not some other random cave someone put there.
Most of the time we just destroy that sign just as collateral damage while trying to cut the logs, but this time we read it. Yeah, and it's not good anyway, so... Arax is saving at the statue, presumably because he's going to do some Death Warp strats here. Definitely the best strat. I prefer to not save there, actually, and Death Warp after the engine room, because then I can do the captain's cabin if I need to.
Yeah. I mean, that save is also like muscle memory, I think, for most runners of this game, because
Yeah.
almost every category saves there.
Yeah. Does Araxis do vanilla runs? For some reason, I don't think he does, but I could be wrong.
I want to say I don't know.
I mean, we can answer this question really easily.
Yeah.
He is not on any %.
Okay. Yeah, then I
Or
guess...
hundo. Or no bit. He could be on Yerbal, but I didn't check Yerbal.
Yeah, I feel like if people... Yeah, I feel like if...
Deer getting the Ruby tablet now.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I think Deer also delaying Skyview, or delaying the back of Skyview at the very least. So interesting that Lepe is going to the combo lock chest first.
Yeah, I really don't like doing that.
And both
I mean, if it's... Oh, yeah, both of them did.
Yeah, like, in this situation, if you're in go mode, I would rush the engine room, personally.
Yeah, I would 100% go for check density. Disappointing red rupee on the end of Betro. Poor Floha.
Lepe's still with 2 shields.
Yeah. I mean, I think most of our runners probably have 2 shields at this point.
Yeah, I probably would as well. Just because I tend to make it a habit if I have the rupees when I go into the bazaar, I just buy a shield. Because, like, you're not guaranteed to find a shield, and it's actually very likely that both shields are in non-progress locations. So, and having a shield, I mean, certainly, like, not required, but does make a bunch of the fights easier or in a lot of cases faster.
Yeah. Skirbo in particular is a really much faster fight with shield.
Okay, Lepe finding nothing behind Skirbo, so he's save scumming that so that he can get his key back.
Yeah, save scumming in Sanjib is really powerful. Potentially. I don't know, I think in this case I would not have save scummed.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would do engine, like, again, I would do engine room first, in which case I would probably find both small keys.
Why Lepa's doing it in this sequence.
Although in this case, like, I probably actually would still only have 1 small key, so I probably would wind up save scumming, but it would be much later on. I would be doing the small key checks much later on. But looks like
Ian's going to Skyview.
Yeah.
So Floha will be getting the Ruby Tablet eventually, and then will be getting Gust Bells and Claw Shots eventually, and Floha will probably be mad at me for this seed because he made a mistake. So that'll be fun in the interview.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, like, what's interesting about this is, so we have Araxis is going down to the engine room, and Lepe is doing the small key check, so we'll see who actually gets the boss key first. Like, if the boss key is vanilla, Lepe has a huge advantage.
Yeah, but even then, I think that Araxis is the more correct play.
Yeah, I think Araxis made the better on paper play, but Lepe actually gains the advantage because...
Yeah. I do wonder what's in the Elden Trial still. I really want to know. It's a vanilla boss key. So Lepa in pure go mode now.
Yeah. So... Yeah, although I do remember, like, Jim made a comment yesterday, I watched back some of the restream, and Jim in his interview yesterday did make a comment about how when he did his 5,000 seed simulation, the boss key actually wound up behind the small key more often, which surprises me a little bit because I thought the boss keys were like one of the first things that were placed, but I guess that's not the case.
Place small keys first, actually. Because if it places the boss key first, right, then it has to place the small keys based on the small key locations. But so if it places the small keys first, it knows what checks are in logic, whereas otherwise it has to work backwards. If that
I
makes
guess
sense.
that's true. It's still, it's still.
Ballad was on Beatrice.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that, though, by, like, Jim's findings with that the boss key showed up more often behind the small key. So that's probably why Lepa rushed the small key checks.
That's very interesting. I wonder if there's, like I think 5,000 is a pretty solid sample size, but...
Yeah, like, I think by 5,000 is enough to draw some conclusions from.
Yeah.
But
I would like to see a bigger... I'd like to see a sample size of, like, 10,000 or 100,000, but that would take so long. Yeah, Song of the Hero being used, this is really unfortunate for anyone who's done a... Flood still doesn't have the beetle for the boss key. Oh no, Flo. So Floha's suffering the required double dip now. Actually, I suppose once he gets whip, he can just, Does it? Floha has whip! He could have just whipped the buzz key! Floha!
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's just Floha might be a little bit tilted and thus not thinking of that.
It's totally possible that he just forgot he has whip, because whip is pretty useless, all things considered, when Cistern is not a required dungeon.
Yeah.
And it's outright useless on this seed, because it is not required to obtain a small key.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you still have Sandship as a required dungeon, so whip is an item that you need to be thinking about at least a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree, but at this point I would have forgotten, potentially, that I had it. It's also possible that he was like, I might as well just go to Eldon, but definitely the wrong play. We'll see him get True Master Sword coming up, though, at the very least. Yeah, Skyward Spins are useful. Specifically when they don't get blocked by a Bokoblin, but... Yeah, Beetle is in the sky, and the second Beetle is... Oh no, there's one in Eldon. So neither Beetle is Beetle locked, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, because one of them's on Oriel, and one of them is that chest in Magma Turf.
So yeah, so no Beetle locked Beetles said.
Aloha also going for the precise bomb throw here.
And he got it. Very nice.
That's, getting that first try is impressive. Especially because he did it by, like, throwing the bomb flower up. I think he may have, like, just dropped one of his own bombs.
I don't, when I do it, I usually don't even, like, time it. I just throw it at the precise angle to blow up when it hits the lava and blow up the rocks.
Yeah.
Lepa not getting trolled by barrels. Like I did in my run last night on the seeding race. If this Floa does not have claw shots, he has no reason to go summit. Does Floa have magma mitts now? Where were magma mitts?
Yeah, looks like from his tracker he has Magma Mist. I don't know where they were.
They're also not getting circles, though. I don't think
they were in mines.
Okay. I like how even with 3 people on commentary, we still are missing things across all 4 streams.
But yeah, huge shout outs to our trackers and other people in chat, like
keeping us honest, basically.
Yeah. Like, it's hard to commentate and, like, keep an eye on 4 streams at once, and even with multiple people, like you tend, like, as commentators, we tend to gravitate to whatever's, like, most interesting to, like, talk about at a given moment, but we can tend to miss checks because of that.
So, you know, all of us are looking at the same people on stream, usually. And we all miss the same things.
Yeah. Also, like, relatively low health seed here because we have
Yeah,
Arachnus
really.
with 7 hearts. Lepe, I believe, has 8 hearts. They
Which is
do have
effectively the
bottles,
same.
though.
Yeah.
So
I
they
believe we
have,
will see them pick up a fairy.
yeah. Yeah, especially with only Master Sword.
Yeah. I actually forgot to pick up the fairy in my seed yesterday and went back for it and then forgot to heal up, but only took 2 hits. So I died, but had I healed up, I would not have died and I would not have needed the fairy. But because I didn't heal up, the fairy was fine. Or was
Yeah,
needed.
I want to say I wound up not needing my fairy, and there's the true Master Sword for Floha.
It's possible that Lepa and Naraxis and everyone else just repeatedly die at Master Sword Horde, but I find that very unlikely.
Yeah,
Lepa
I
and
mean,
Naraxis should all be very practiced in Master Horde.
yeah.
So Lepa's solidly in the lead here of our restreamed runners. No one
Yeah.
else has finished, so...
Yeah, I guess, like, Lepalog pulling massively ahead because he took the gamble on the small key chests, having the boss key, and it paid off for him. So he saved, like, probably over 5 minutes compared to Araxis just by not having to go through the engine room.
He saved the length of the Tantalus fight, approximately.
Yeah, but it's like, it's one of those things where that was literally just luck.
It's sheer
basically.
luck, yeah.
He just, like, if it had been the other way around, if the Husky had been in the engine room, Araxis would have had an advantage over Lepe. Lepe getting the cutting all the fingers off, so he's able to climb up really quickly and setting up for the fast imp 2. Unfortunately, misses the jump slash though.
Yeah,
Imp
very
2
unfortunate.
is probably the hardest boss in the game to do optimally.
Easily the hardest.
And yeah, so it's basically because, like, getting the jump slashes is difficult, and then if you miss one of the jump slashes, like, this happens, and, like, once the imprisonment
Did you
starts
just
climbing the
miss
wall...
the finger slice? Missing the finger slice is just as bad too.
Honestly, I don't, like, missing the finger slice, like, is a little slow because you have to run around, but I think it's manageable. Whereas, like, missing the jump slash, like, you're basically almost guaranteed to have imprisoned climb the wall once, and at that point you probably are going to need to use the Grusinator. And yeah, Lepe unfortunately missed both jump slashes, so unable to stay on the imprisoned's head and asked to climb back up. And on the third phase, the imprisoned shakes you off his head almost immediately, so you're almost forced at that point to use the Grusinator. I think you can barely do it if you're fast enough and you land, like, right on the spike, but it's very difficult. And unfortunately, Lepa with the bad timing with the Grusinator bomb happens to fire the bomb just before the imprisoned goes and tries to climb the wall. So now he has to slash the fingers to get him off the wall and then wait for another Grusinator bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really precise, though.
And
Floha checking Summit and finding nothing, which, I mean, is as predicted because we've basically found everything.
yeah, we know where everything is.
So, like, we
Flo's
know...
only looking for claw shots. We know where it is.
Yeah.
Flaw should know by now that I have a penchant for rolling seeds where the Great Tree chest is an item. So I think Deer is now like really ahead of Floha because he has returned to Skyview to finish it.
Yeah, what items is Deer missing at this point? Because Deer doesn't have a tracker on screen.
Looking at the actual restream, he does not have bombs, claw. Okay, he doesn't have bombs, claw shots, whip, spiral charge, which I think spiral charge is just mismarked. I think he has spiral charge.
He has to have spiral charge, or he would
'Cause
not
he
have been
fight
able to
Levias,
fight Levias.
So yeah, so he's missing quite a bit actually. So it's possible that he's not. Yeah, Araxis could pass Lepa with a good imp 2 at this point. But however, Lepa, since Lepa is through imp 2.
Yeah, considering Lepa finished imp 2,
he can close the gap. It depends on how Horde goes.
Yeah, I don't see Araxis passing Lepalog at this point. I think, but I think he did. If he has a better imp 2 than Lepa did, he will close the gap significantly, though.
Yeah, he'll close the gap down to like down to Horde skip basically. I even know that Deer is ahead logically actually because of the missing bombs. He might not know that check, which is really bad in that case.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Floha's reaction when he does finally find his claw shots.
I can't wait to talk to him in the interview and to find out that I'm like forbidden from rolling seeds ever again. Deer getting sacred water, I think by accident.
Lepe entering the Horde fight, unfortunately, his stream's being really choppy for me, so...
Yeah. I also keep getting my delay on his stream on the commentary page pushed further back.
It's really
The
weird
infamous
seeing
horde fight.
the post Skyview Machi cutscene because it's like skipped in almost every category of like the vanilla speedruns.
Yeah.
But...
Did we see it from anyone else today? I don't remember seeing it.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure we saw it from everyone. We just didn't pay attention.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember seeing it.
So
Praxis landing the first jump slash. Very good. Is he a little... He might be a little far back. Nope, looks good. Lands the second spin, but does... Oh, wait, did he just get a... He got a perfect in two, didn't he? Oh, no, he missed the first jump slash. At least it looks like he missed the first jump slash.
Can't quite tell, but... I mean, either way, is significantly better imp 2 than...
Ooh, and Lepa gets horde skip. So I think that unless Lepa dies to Ghirahim 3 or Demise, I think that he has this one in the... I would say he has this in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, he will definitely be the first to finish on restream.
No, pending a death, but I don't think that that's likely.
Yeah.
Lepa getting hit once by the archers, but no big deal.
Okay, so Deer is checking the goddess wall.
Oh, he knows. Wow. Very impressive show from Deer, really. He sold himself short when he decided to join the tournament, I feel like. He's definitely better than he made himself out to be.
Absolutely.
Which I guess, is something that all speedrunners do. We all sell ourselves short. No one likes a run, even when it's world record.
Yeah. Although he's hesitating a lot on drawing the arrow. I wonder if he's... Oh, he's...
He doesn't know.
Sure why he's drawing a heart there.
I hope he knows how to restore the goddess wall. Let him go again.
Yeah, you can... The fastest way to restore it is to just save and quit at behind the temple statue and then reload your file and then the...
Oh, I think he's trying to reload the area to do it.
Yeah, but I think you have to do a full area reload. Yeah. I think you'd have to go to either Faron or back to the sky. Even
I think you have to save and quit. I don't think sky is sufficient. I think he knows. Dang, he's trying to go to the sky. We'll see. Yeah, that does require drawing an arrow. You have to draw whatever he asks you to do.
Yeah, the first thing he will always ask you to draw is an arrow. If you fail it like Deer did, then from then on, what he asks you to draw is random.
Yeah. So in speedruns, we try to save before so we can just reset if we fail it. But most people don't do that. Don't fail it anymore. Actually, are bombs even required for this seed? There's a sword upgrade locked behind bombs, but True Master Sword is not required.
Yeah.
Although the second sword upgrade may also be locked behind a sword in Faron. Linear, I'm not certain.
Unless it's the very first chest in Mines, then...
Well, Hook Beetle is sufficient.
Logically. True. Does he have Hook Beetle?
He should. He does not, but he will get it when he goes to Eldin. Or if he goes to Eldin. Oh, Leba, we just totally breezed past Leba doing G3. He is now in Demise. I'm watching Arax's attempt towards skip here. Clean. Leba getting the lightning.
Yeah,
And Leba is done.
Stream.
A 2:18:40, a very, very good time for this scene.
GG's Lepa.
Yeah, GG's Leva. Arax is getting the arrow, unfortunately. Does Araxis still have his fairy? Yes, okay.
The deer getting the amber tablet, and looks like we are swapping KitKat back in.
Where is KitKat? He is doing nodes. Interesting.
Hi.
Hello, Leba. GG's.
GG's.
Congrats.
Okay, now I'm curious what everyone else is doing.
Araxis is currently fighting G3. KitKat is in a node. Floha is finishing Skyview, and Deer is doing... I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. I just know that he's on Skyview, or on Skyloft right now.
Yeah, so... Yeah. Floha, I missed out on Ruby Tablet.
Somehow.
Yeah, on his first trip to Skyview, and even though he did do the bit warp, so he's very far behind because of that.
He has true Master Sword, though. So there's that. The last sword upgrade is in Mines.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, my go mode item was Amber Tablet again.
Yeah, that was it for a lot of people again. But this scene was a lot better than the other one.
Yeah, how did you like the claw shots in Great Tree chest?
Yeah, well, I was like, oh hey, we had that before.
Yeah, because I know like in my first seating race it was Gust Bellows in that chest.
Which I also rolled.
Yes. Well, I firmly remember that one because I last locationed it.
Yep.
But
I wonder what KitKat is looking for. Also, I'm gonna update the seating.
Yeah, unfortunately, KitKat doesn't have a tracker on his stream, and so
I'm assuming he's looking for claw shots. That's the only item I can think of that he'd be looking for.
Yeah, we'll see if he opens his item wheel.
Because he has Master Sword, and logically, there's nothing else he should be looking for at this point.
I mean, looking for claw shots makes sense.
Because I think when we swapped him out, when his internet went down, he should have had just about everything else.
Dang, clearing out Lenaru really sucks, because
Lenaru should be all but empty again.
I mean, unless there's like a song and he gets baited even into a trial or something.
No, I think none of the songs were required except the Elven trial, and no one did it actually.
No one did it. Bad memories from Let's Plays.
Yeah, at least no one on Restream did it.
Okay.
That we saw.
Yeah, I skipped it as well.
I was starting to get the feeling that it was that the tablet was on it just from the way checks were playing out, but
yeah, same. But I was also looking for other items, so it was not like I was just looking for that one item. I think at that point I was even looking for a sword. So, yeah.
GG's to Araxis.
GG. Yeah.
GG.
Let me punch some of these numbers in to see what the
Yeah, so like part time for this race is
Gonna
like a
be like a-
221 ish.
yeah, about a 221. So Lepa's gonna have a really good seating time from this race.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll know Lepa. Yeah, you're here. Lepa, you'll have a. We'll know your final seating score after this race, as well.
Yeah, that was really lucky. I was lucky that I got claw shots before Amber Tablet, so I could just go with the Naru and did not have to do what KitKat is doing. Because I think I would definitely have done that, probably. Clear out everything in the Naru in the search for claw shots.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, it just like it would be kind of the unfortunate situation that happened to me in one of the earlier seeding races with the Gus Bellows, where it's like you go chasing item density, but because you just happen to get the Ember Tablet first instead of the claw shots first. So in a way, like, you just probably, like, in a way, like, the fact that you got the claw shots first just was, like, made it so that you were just immediately go mode.
Yeah. So
GG.
KitKat never went back to Faron and got the sword upgrade there, and claw shot.
CG, I forgive you for the last seed.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I love you.
This was such a nice scene, really.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite glad that it went well for you guys. Because I've rolled nothing but trash seeds for myself this past week.
Everything was in Faron.
Yeah, really. It was Faron and Elden were both stacked. There was one sword upgrade in Lenaru, if you were wondering.
So bombs were not actually required. After
Yeah, they
all.
weren't.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
I mean, I kind of knew that as soon as, because it only led to a sword there. So I knew, okay. Like,
Well, I mean, it's possible that, you know, they were locked, like the Faron one was locked as well.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that that the sword upgrade would probably be in treasure room and in Sandship, so I wasted all my time.
Yeah.
I did the
Although
instant
you
chip.
gambled on the boss key position in Sandship Lepa, and that actually won you the race.
Yeah, I thought, okay, I know the reason I did it like this is because yeah, the six checks are more likely, but I thought, okay, so the boss key the small keys can't be in these positions where the small keys are, so it was basically
Point, because we were talking about Jim's 5,000 seed trials, and how the boss key appears in the two small key lock checks more frequently than the rest of the checks, and the fact that it can't place a small key there actually explains that, I feel like.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Deer
otherwise
finally.
would have just done Holy Notes.
Oh,
Or
dear, got
if I
bombs. Nice.
Found a small key, so yeah.
Yeah, when I found the small key in Sunship, I was like, damn, what am I going to do? I don't know if I do the 2 checks with the small key or if I do the end of Sunship.
Both of you went for the chest behind the combo lock first, which was very interesting. What was your guys' thought process with that, actually?
Usually I never get this chest, but I was like, maybe it's in this chest, so I will begin with this. If the boss key is here, that's nice.
I always do it just so that I have like the master event out of the way, because I mean, I guess you can probably actually
the check behind the combo lock, not the heart piece chest. I also always start with the heart piece.
Oh yeah, oh you were talking about that?
Yeah. Starting with the heart piece is not unusual, at least as far as I'm aware.
Well, okay, I thought before I commit to all of the treasure rooms checks, I'm gonna do that first. So I was actually hoping for it to be not a key, so I could just go get. Then it would be obvious what to do, so because then I would have to do treasure room. But since it was a small key, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the small key checks first and hope that boss key's there. So I guess whip was only logically required and not actually required.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so many items like that.
Yeah, bombs were just not required at all.
I think bombs aren't even logically required because you can get
the sword upwards, yeah.
the other one in logic, yeah.
Oh no, dear, doing a trial that's not in logic.
Oh.
Or not a required trial. He didn't read the hints. Oh, Moozer's on Imp 2, by the way. I didn't even look at that.
Oh, my M2 was terrible.
Skyview was interesting in this it because there were so many ways to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did the precise slingshot shot to get the boss key, right? Or
Yeah.
That was an incredibly good call. Did you do the same thing, Lepa, or?
Yeah, I was like, okay, I don't really know how this works, so I'm just gonna try it, and if I don't get it in a few tries, I'm gonna watch the video. And then I got it first try and actually popped out.
Yeah, thinking the same.
Yeah. That trick is so good. But I did something really dumb, so I killed Ghirahim, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna check out the chest behind the 3 eyes, and then death walk back, and then finish the dungeon, and went out, and I was like, okay, I still don't have the beetle, what was I thinking? So then I went back, and I thought that it would trigger the Star-Boss fight, but it actually played the cutscene for some reason.
It didn't trigger the fight, though?
No, because after the cutscene it forces you to layer 1, which normally has Ghirahim, but since game was already defeated, I could just run to the end. I think that actually broke the entrance render, so I'm glad I found it out.
Yeah, it's always good to find bugs that are potentially breaking.
Now I forgot to do the check to trigger the goddess wall when I came in Skyview.
Alright, Lepa, you can answer this definitively for us as a rando dev. Do you have to summon the goddess wall in Skyview in order to do Gorko? Or is it just the magma text?
I saw papers say that we don't have to make the goddess wall spawn, but I'm not sure. I never tried to do that.
You're
You're about it for like 10 minutes. What is it?
The story flag sets like when you talk to that guy and not actually when you reveal that wall.
So you don't need Harp to set up the trigger. You need Harp, obviously, to summon the Goddess Wall with Gorko, but you don't need Harp to trigger the story fight.
Yeah, you only need Water Dragon Scale.
That's a good.
Is that a vanilla behavior or something that was changed for Rando?
No, that's a vanilla behavior.
That's so weird.
Interesting. So that affects Hundo too, because technically we don't need to spawn. We just need to get the Magma trigger, and we don't need to spawn the Goddess Wall.
I think the reason Hundo does it is because it's faster.
Okay, we were wondering about that too for no bit. So it is faster to summon the Goddess Wall than to just trigger his text normally.
Why is summoning... Oh wait, can you summon the Goddess Wall before triggering his text?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I always get his text and then summon the Goddess Wall.
Yeah. I totally forgot about that. That you actually don't need it.
Seeing you did it threw us all off.
Yeah, I was... In my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the chest behind 3 eyes because otherwise it will haunt me for the rest of the seed if there would be something required there.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
So that's why I went there and then triggered the Goddess Wall because for some reason I thought it was required. I don't know why. Probably because I thought it would be the trigger. But now that you bring it up, I'm pretty sure that you don't actually need to do that.
Muzu checking True Master Sword and Evil Crystal. Ironic that that is the item that Zelda has.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Totally fitting. Also, I had 2 wooden shields at the end because I bought one and got one.
Several people did. It's always funny when that happens.
Yeah. I still think it's better to just buy one because it does not cost that much time and the chances of finding that ones is not that high because it's not a required item.
No, I didn't. Buying it is the right play.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think it might depend on, like, what required dungeons you have, because, like, I think in this seed it definitely made sense with Scarvo. And, like, I probably
Scarvo?
regardless.
I mean, that's I mean, I think it's probably already worth it for Ghirahim 3 if you don't have True Master Sword.
That's very true.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's true, because you can do the faster strats with shield.
I mean, I think...
I assume that's what you did, Lepa, right? We didn't watch you do Ghirahim 3, we were watching something else.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, if you have True Master Sword, I don't think shield will do anything.
Yeah, it's just better to...
enough to be worth it.
But I mean, you don't know that you're not going to get True Master Sword.
Yeah.
That's actually something interesting for spoiler log races, is whether or not you can route in either shield or route in 1 ruby chest to buy it later. And if that's worth it.
That's true.
But...
I mean, I guess it also depends if you have to get pouch at all for spoiler though, but yeah. Assuming you get it.
Whip was Outland Crystals. Yeah, Deer about to get claw shots here. Deer's actually doing very, very well.
Yeah, and actually, like, Whip was not required this seed.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was logically required for the keys.
Yeah. I still think the key logic can be changed, but that's not really a important discussion at the moment. Deer's struggling a little bit on this jump. I believe Deer... does Deer have whip? Deer probably doesn't know all of the sand chip strats to skip whip, but...
The strat is to not do treasure room.
Well, yeah, but there's a small key in treasure room, and logically you need both small keys to access either.
Yeah, you have to save Scummit if you don't go for the right one first, that's true.
I mean, saving's not like a difficult strategy, you just have to know to do it.
Yeah.
And he finally makes the jump.
I mean, it is a common randomizer thing
Yeah.
to save scum keys. But yeah,
He almost jumps off the ledge along the way.
Yeah. What I thought was interesting
very
yesterday. What I thought was interesting yesterday was I was talking to Jim in his stream after the race, and he mentioned that he actually in the seed yesterday save scummed the last item in the Thunderhead, which was something I never really thought to do, but it makes a lot of sense in certain situations.
Yeah.
Really? Like saving somewhere beforehand and just resetting them.
Yeah, so what he did was he saved on Skyloft and then flew to the Thunderhead intending to just reset if the item in Thunderhead was junk, which in that seed it was a sword upgrade, so he kept it, but
yeah,
he was fully intending to save scum it.
So did Jim finish with Master Sword or True Master Sword yesterday, just out of curiosity?
I believe it was regular Master Sword, but I of course.
But you ran that.
Yeah, so I didn't watch the entire restream. Like
you're not
watched
getting
back some of it after the fact, but I didn't watch the entire thing, so I don't know. But I presume it was just regular Master Sword.
Oh, Muzu hit by Ghirahim 3, but thankfully she has a fairy. Boink. Good shield bash.
Flo also getting all the checks in the net, it seems.
Because he didn't think to go back. I guess it's the correct quote-unquote play because of check density, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, because of how... Well, wait, he got... Yeah, because, like, it's, again, coming back to the fact that he did Skyview so late that at that point, Great Tree was an isolated check.
Yeah.
Whereas it wasn't an isolated check for, like...
Everyone else.
For, like, Leppa and other runners.
Flop here playing pinball with the baby Ampulus and finally getting it in there. I also wonder what Deer will do next. Little bit of trouble with phase 1 of Demise, but she gets there eventually. Let's see if she can carry over the stun lock. Looks like Deer is going to Lineru.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, Deer has claw shots, so...
2 people have already finished, so Muzu is about to be in 3rd place. And GG's to Muzu. 240.
GG.
So what is Deer missing at this point?
Technically, like, logically, whip. However, if he knows the strats, nothing.
Okay, so yeah, I guess he is gonna be looking for whip then, unfortunately.
Yeah, if he skip whip, he is in go mode, which is incredible. Did KitKat's stream go out again, or is my commentary page just being broken? Yeah, it was just me.
So, because I just put Copernicus on screen, I wanted to update everyone. He just went to Sealed Temple and tried to trigger the Imp 2 fight, and it didn't work. So, now he's going back to Skyloft.
I just said he's soft locked himself. I don't know what the soft lock is. I think he just doesn't.
I think based on like some earlier stuff I saw in chat where people were talking about him being in Earth Temple, I think he mismarked his required dungeons.
It's my assumption.
That's really bad.
I got Ballad of the Goddess, but I didn't even go to the head.
Yeah, we thought that it was gonna be required with the Song of the Hero fragment on Levias, but Song of the Hero was not required.
Oh, so Levias actually had a progression item. Interesting. Okay, so now we know what crystals were in Elden Trial.
Yeah, I think they have to be.
Why did Pepper do that?
Yeah. I thought after the experience from last race everybody would skip them, but if I remember correctly, Muzu did not do any trials, so that time she was maybe they required this time, but apparently not.
Crystals. Damn. I was like, why is Floha opening LMF? But it's because he's going for the chest on top of it.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you're already clearing out the entire desert, then might as well do it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Unfortunately for him, that's so not necessary. Deer dying there? It almost looked deliberate. Oh, he's a fairy.
Flo's gonna be mad.
Flo's gonna be so mad. But he's gonna be the only one, really.
So wait, Float did on his first trip to Skyview, he did not get the tablet.
Yeah, he did the bit warp, but for some reason he didn't check the items in the back.
Okay.
So thus he didn't get his ruby tablet.
Did he? But he finished. He finished the temple, so it took him a while to go back.
Yeah, I think he did basically everything he possibly could without it.
I mean, going back for only one check kind of sucks. Or only a few checks.
Yeah. But that decision definitely cost him a lot. Kit Kat finally getting his whip, and I wonder how he's going to feel about that when he finds out that whip was not needed. I mean, because right now he doesn't know that, but when he finds where the boss key is, yeah, he's probably going to be not too happy about the fact that it was technically in Go. Also, yeah, Deer not blowing up that rock, blocking the minecart. Gonna have to take an extra trip.
Not terrible, though.
So did Pepper figure out that you mismarked the dungeons?
Well, Pepper has a completely different issue, actually. He did Tentaclus skip, which has soft-locked him out of completing Sandship. Apparently.
Oh.
As well as having mismarked the dungeons. Apparently.
Wait, why does that?
I don't know, he says that it's a soft lock. He can't get back into the boss room.
Yeah, that makes sense, because if you would go back into the boss room, then... But, like, if... I'm pretty sure it counts as completed.
I think as well. Oh, wait! Pepper is not... He thinks he's soft-locked, but he's not. Pepper needs to check his dungeons.
Yeah.
He thinks he's soft-locked because it didn't count, but he's not actually soft-locked.
Yeah. I mean, he is locked... If you do Tentaclus skip, I'm pretty sure you are locked out of the heart container, and there's no way to get that.
No, because the heart container won't spawn, right? Because the boss was never.
I don't. Yeah, because heart containers only spawn if like the boss is dead. Like there's a dungeon flag for the boss being dead, and it checks for that. And if you do Tentaclus skip, that never sets.
Yeah.
So, but if you do, I don't know if he was on screen, but as long as the item showed when he entered, Tentaclus for like the flame cutscene, then it should be fine. But I don't know. He was on screen. Because directly after that it sets all of the story flags for the dungeon completion. So I'm pretty sure if you just finish the Skyview, it should work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Tentaclus skip is kind of do at your own risk, because there's definitely a chance
that it's just broken.
That, I mean, you definitely don't want to do it if you're not a Gomer, because if Tentaclus heart container is required,
then you're hard locked.
Yeah.
I was like, I think Pepper is attempting bed trick here.
Wait.
Because he thinks he needs Skybit to open the boss door.
Opening the boss door is not the problem.
Well, if he thinks that he didn't complete Sandship. So he's trying to open the boss door to trigger Tantalus in order to...
You can... Like, the loading zone is removed. Even if
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, there's no way. Because the problem is, after you complete Tantalus, like, normally the boss door, like, normally after, like in vanilla, after beating Sandship, it changes all of the layers, so then the boss door appears to be open and you can just walk in there and there's no loading zone anymore. But since then though the layer never changes, the loading zone technically still is there, but the problem with that is if you beat Tantalus, then trigger the fight again, you soft lock because the boss room is in its completed state, so
Yeah.
the lower part does not exist anymore. So you just you just go there and fall out of bounds and you infinitely void. So to fix that, I just removed the loading zone after beating the boss.
Flora finally gets claw shots.
Yeah. I'm disappointed he did not rage slash the chest a ton of times.
He did kill himself though. Which
Yeah,
is pretty
but
normal
that
after
was
this chest,
more-
but
That was more of a death warp than
an
rage.
angry warp.
Yeah. Wait, why did he go from the top? Guess he doesn't know the other route?
Yeah, I guess so. True, this is why no one wants to do bed trick routes, but Pepper also doesn't need to be doing bed trick, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't really understand what that...
Maybe Pepper doesn't know that the loading zone is removed, or that he would soft lock there. I wish
haven't-
Pepper would just go look at the dungeons again.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and doing Tantalus skip actually doesn't set the dungeon to complete it, but then he's just completely fucked. So yeah. There's no way.
I'm not really sure. Well, I guess the only way he gets out of this is by knowing that he did the wrong dungeons.
Yeah.
Wait, he did Skyview? Why was he in Earth Temple then? I think he just has his dungeons mismarked.
Oh.
If he did actually complete Skyview, then
Well, then it's just broken, and
then he's actually soft locked, and we have an actual problem on our hands. But you know, he
Oh,
did
no.
do it at his own risk.
I mean, I was always convinced that it would work normally.
He didn't check the dungeons. I thought he was gonna go back and recheck the dungeons.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's on a completely fresh file.
I don't know what he's
I don't know
doing.
if he's doing this to set something up or if he decided if he just like gave
Well-
up on trying to fix the soft lock.
Well, Tantalus Fix puts you in like into the post dungeon completed cutscene event, which should theoretically still give you the item, which means it should still work.
I mean, the cutscene after the post-dungeon cutscene actually does nothing. It's the event where you get the item.
Yeah, the event after striking the crest.
Yeah, and
which is different, I guess.
The flag for striking the crest, that should just work normally.
I imagine that Pepper is trying to set up Skyview, which itself is banned, but like, this is an edge case, I feel like. I don't know.
I have no idea what... I have no idea what he's trying to do.
Well, yeah, but you set the flag for having struck the crest, Mario, which doesn't put you in the actual end state of the dungeon, like the ending event. So,
yeah.
Whereas this actually puts you in the event after you strike the crest, which is why it's useful in
because
all dungeons.
It's weird because in the normal dungeons, like in Skyview and Earth Temple, when you strike the crest, it directly puts you into the cutscene, whereas in the other dungeons like Ancient Cistern, Sandship, and Fire Sanctuary, striking the crest only sets the flag, and then the cutscene is triggered by the loading zone. Which is kind of weird, kind of a weird difference, but I guess that's how they implemented it. So that's why it doesn't work in Skyview, but it works in Sandship. I mean, it would also work in the other dungeons, but it would be useless because then you could do it for Ancient System, for example, which would mean that as soon as you enter the flame room, the cutscene would start playing. But that doesn't really do anything. I mean, I guess, actually, thinking about it, if you're doing swordless, that might actually be a strat, because it skips the sword.
Oh, for Tantalus? Or for Sandship?
No, I mean for something like... I was thinking about Ancient Cistern and Fire Sanctuary. But I don't think you can actually beat the bosses without a sword.
Saw a tempting mask skip here, but failing it.
Oh no.
It looks like he failed it. It looked like he blew up too early. Yeah, he failed it.
I died directly before the chest after doing
the mask, right? Yeah, we saw that.
That was something.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. We were wondering if you were going to like just skip that chest, but you wound up going for it again anyways.
No, I don't know. I feel like I was committed to it, so I just keep the timers.
Tantalus, and so is Floha should be finishing up Sandship soon as well. And that would leave us with Pepper and Deer. Okay, so Tantalus is a slow fight, unfortunately. We talked about that earlier. So I wonder what Deer is looking for. I probably win, I believe, still. And then Pepper is just, we think Pepper has restarted. But, honestly, the world may never know.
I'm currently looking through Pepper's rod, and I have no idea what he did.
Did Tantalus skip? Like, he did Tantalus skip, he said, right? But does that look like it worked correctly?
I don't know.
Because Pepper, I think, thinks his second required dungeon is Earth Temple.
Like, he still has the key, the boss key, and like normally if you open the boss door, it disappears, right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, because like I don't know if you tried to RBM the crest up or something. I don't actually know what he did to RBM, but he just left with the boss key without ever entering Tantalus.
He did skip but entered the boss room.
Okay, so he did the normal Tantalus skip. So he did the RBM with the cursed netball.
He never entered the boss room to trigger the dungeon being finished?
Yeah, because Tantalus skip only works when you actually go there.
Yeah, so Pepper has made double crucial mistakes in executing the skip he attempted wrong, and
I don't know if he thought that it would work like that.
that's not how it works. And he should know that, though, because he routed it into all dungeons.
It's like, I think there was actually because of the swordless thing. I think it would have actually worked at some point, but I specifically programmed it in that it doesn't work anymore. So, like, Pepper has the right had the right idea actually, because, but then I still question where he got the boss key. Because, like, if you would just function normally, like, okay, after you strike the crest and haven't gotten the item, then it gives you the item on the deck, then it will work. So, but there's actually a flag that sets when you defeat Tantalus, which it checks for. So yeah. Or maybe I missed him going into the boss door, but I don't think so. So I'm really.
I guess
what he's
Pepper
thinking.
did actually mismark his dungeons.
But so he thought thinks that Sancho is not required.
No, I think he thinks that Skyview is unrequired.
But he did Skyview.
Oh, he did do Skyview? Then what was he doing in Earth Temple?
Was he in Earth Temple?
Yeah, he was in Earth Temple at one point.
I am so confused.
Oh, that's a really good point. He got Ruby Tablet. I'm very confused.
Yeah, and if you get Ruby Tablet, you know that this is a required dungeon. Like, there's no other way. Otherwise, there would be a serious randomization bug.
A very serious randomization bug.
Yeah.
So he didn't mismark his dungeons. Maybe he just went. But why? Like, why would he go through the effort of RBMing the Earth Temple door open? Oh dear. Also, the odds of that, like, if that was indeed a bug, like, the odds of that bug having never come up since the race mode was added are so little.
I mean, they are there. I mean, if it hasn't come up until now, then it would be like some really weird edge case.
Case, that's true.
Or it might, like, it could be something really dumb, like a typo that one chest doesn't count as a Skyview chest or something.
Yeah, it could just be a bug in the, like, logic file.
That would be.
Which
So
would be something that
think-
could come up.
I
don't-
Tyler actually thinks that Temple is required instead of Sandship.
Then why skip?
I have no idea. I really want to know what he is thinking.
Yeah, maybe he does not know about the hints.
Yeah, I think that, Deer might not know about the hints.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, hints were not added that long ago. So
Yeah, they were. But I think Deer is relatively new to the rando in general.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. And they will definitely don't know the next time, so yeah. Can only get better.
Trackerless is definitely an option. You're struggling to climb. There we go. He climbed successfully. Not knowing the correct number of poles, which I believe is 7 on that minecart in particular.
KitKat got a hard skip.
Nice. There it is. I think everyone has gotten one skip so far.
I practiced that yesterday. Oh, all the day. Like I need to do hard skip.
I mean, it's a good thing to do because, like, with True Master Sword, you can just hit the blue goblin over the fence, but I'm pretty sure it either doesn't work with normal Master Sword or it's just way harder and RNG dependent.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have an idea of why Pepper did a tempo.
Okay.
So maybe he thought that it set the flag for it's possible that he thought that you get the flag when you do like tentacle skip and then go on the main deck. And then the problem is that doesn't actually trigger Improvement 2 because like that function only runs when you get the item. So I think he thought, okay, if I beat Earth Temple, then that function runs even if it's not a required dungeon, and then I should be able to skip like the fight. But that does not work because the flag doesn't set.
Yeah, I guess if he was, let me just complete a different dungeon to run the function, then yeah, that was a valid decision, but I'll have to ask, actually, I guess, well, he forfeited, so now we can talk about it. To enter the boss room, right, Lepa? We're pretty sure to... Yeah. Oh, there's a crest. There's a crest outside now that triggers as well, Pepper says.
Yeah.
So would that have been sufficient to trigger the ending cutscene to fix the...
No, you... Like, okay, so the way it works is, if you are in Tantala's room and have the flag for the crest, then, like, it works like in vanilla, you like get the item and the cutscene. But on the main deck, it checks for Tantalus completed because normally after, like, assuming you did Tantalus with Practice Sword, which is what all that stupid shit is for, because that's possible, and then you can't finish it. So if you finish Tantalus with Practice Sword, then you collect the heart container and then like fight to leave. And then if you get Goddess Sword, you can come back and then trigger the crest because then it's up on the main deck. And then the cutscene plays.
Hey guys.
GG?
GG's. So are we all in agreement that CJ is worse than Flo that rolling seeds?
No, everyone is in agreement that no one is in agreement with that.
Yeah, that's because everyone chose right at the small key, like, for goddamn it, okay.
No, everyone chose the claw shots check correctly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Getting baited into desert is really unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, had I, like, I was at, like, I was, like, kind of half go mode, right, when I got the small key, and I was going, okay, well, It's either Skirvo or like vanilla. I went Skirvo because that would be a little bit more, I don't know, just kind of 50-50. And then I just had the last location whip because I just went through everywhere, and it was like it was sad.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
Yeah, that is why you save Scum the keys if you get only one.
I do not know how to do that, so cool.
You just save and reset.
Oh yeah. Okay, if you excuse me, I'm gonna cry in a corner. Like, just give me a sec, right?
The most valid thing I've heard all day, honestly.
Okay, no, but okay, GG, yeah, no, but seriously, yeah. Cool.
You know, that's why I always want to full clear Faron before going to Laneru, in this case.
I try to full clear Faron because that great tree chest has killed people one too many times for my liking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we don't really have a lot of time, but I guess the other question is, so, I mean, what did, I guess, everyone think about Skyview? I think, like, this is one of the rare cases of, like, a logically required double dip.
Technically, it was a logically required triple dip.
No, I double dipped. I didn't go 3 times.
I meant logically, because the second bottle was triple dip locked.
Oh, yeah, logically, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fine. If you had known the precise shot kick cut, you would have been able to one-trip Skyview.
Yeah, but I didn't, so yeah.
I know. Just strats to learn so that you're better for the future.
Yeah, it's been on my kind of to-do list, but I just haven't got around to it, so, cool. But yeah.
All right. Shall we go ahead and wrap this up?
Yeah, I think we're done here.
All right then. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to our runners. Floha and Deer are still running. Floha is almost done. We're gonna go ahead and raid Deer, give him our support. Coming up in half an hour, we have an Ocarina of Time randomizer match, which is why I have to cut this short because they need to set that up. It's winners bracket round 2 between Dylan Meeble and Ryukane. So if you like Ocarina of Time, stick around for that. In the meantime, we're raiding Deer. I want to thank everyone for running. Thank our commentators CJS07, 64-bit Link, and BattleCats59. Thank our trackers, Zeldex72 and Ibu. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you had a great time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
See ya, everyone.
Bye.